All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Part 6, Episode 15. Jolyne is in a pickle, or more specifically, an enclosed cell.
Yeah, and guys are yelling at her about their pickle, probably.
And throwing shit at her.
Yeah.
Actual shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But she has a mission. She has a plan for being here.
Right.
Given that they just took out Sports and Mechs, she's probably going to be using the info maybe gained on his disc or something like that,
right,
to like set something up. But given that Hermes is needing to be healed by FF, this might be a more Jolyne focused setup here. Mm-hmm. We also do have some boys that could end up coming into play here, like Emporio.
That's true.
Emporio being someone who has the ability to navigate around the prison rather effectively. We don't know if Emporio can get to this area specifically. Right. But I think we're on track to have an encounter again with our priest.
Father Pucci.
Yes, Father Pucci.
Mm-hmm.
Rather quickly, especially if Jolyne keeps
mucking shit up.
Yeah, it keeps mucking shit up for him. And
I do like the idea that you had of her using her stand to scout from this new location. Mm-hmm. If she did that, I could see her making a lot of progress.
Yeah, because this is an area, at the very least, that doesn't seem to be a women's or men's specific area of the prison. Like there's
for
men
both of them.
And women
so,
here. So it
maybe
could
she
be
can
more,
reach some fun places.
Right, it could be a more centralized place. It could be a place that's like higher or lower elevation, which makes for some interesting stuff there. But yeah, this is another example of where Part 6 has a unique advantage by staying in one location where we get to learn it a little bit more, like Part 4, but with even more detail.
Right.
So, all right. But y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. Whoa.
Oh. Huh.
Whoa. I don't know. Probably some weird shit, but yeah. Kind of looks like a dick with the two balls. That doesn't concern you.
All right. Oh shit.
No way.
Wait, hold on.
Whoa.
Wait. Then that means it might sustain after he's killed.
Oh.
Wait, what?
And that's why Jolyne wanted to get there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a sentient Dio bone just moving around the prison. Oh my
Cool.
God.
That's gonna
I love it.
force a confrontation with them. Oh, yeah. Okay. So it's actually super isolated. It's not a good position to scout. It's okay, it's far. Okay, nice. We get to this map.
Cool.
This is going to be very, very helpful.
Oh shit. Easier said than done.
Ah, yes,
We're gonna be properly introduced now. Anasui.
Oh. Oh, that's not That's not a name. That's like a title.
Oh. Oh, okay.
Oh, so he should be in this prison.
All right.
Oh, he's got like the Siler kind of thing going on. Yeah, just to disassemble and see how things work. Yeah.
Cool, cool. And then...
Oh, I can't wait to find out what his standability is.
Oh, yeah, same.
It's going to be so cool.
Oh, no.
Oh, God.
Ah.
And that's extra... So he disassembled them both. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. With extreme prejudice.
Whoa.
Wait. Wait a minute. With FF, would that potentially be busted?
Maybe.
Because her body isn't a regular body. Like... Oh.
What?
Oh, okay.
Wait.
All right.
Classic JoJo's.
Yeah.
It's impossible. I'll do the thing immediately.
Yeah.
What is going on? Whoa.
Oh my god.
Wait. So he can disassemble himself?
Yeah, probably. Ah,
oh no.
I see.
Oh no. I really wanted to disassemble her. Wait! What?
I think she might end up disassembling that concept.
Be my wing woman. Give us your blessing!
FF even does the ceremony. Yeah.
And I was like, what? Oh shit, let's go, let's go. Dive her down.
Alright, alright.
Now they'll open it. Now they'll open it for him.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah. Like a disassembly, reassembly, like a movement thing. That, oh my god!
Excellent pose.
What a pose!
Like
what a legendary pose! Holy shit! Oh, oh, cool, cool. Joseph of Joestar's.
Yeah, probably. Sure.
A wise answer. Oh!
Yes.
Oh! Why is Dio so fucking cool?
That feels like the premise for stands entirely. Like Araki's whole philosophy with it.
Children argue for fun, which is stronger.
Wait.
Yes! Yes! He's making fun of. Ah!
All right, proper death battle. Yeah.
Oh, oh,
oh.
Oh! That's literally.
I'm a survivor.
No, I know, but that's literally. What's his name's?
Yeah.
Stand.
Whoa. What?
Holy crap.
Holy shit.
Wow.
Holy
like
shit.
giving them a shot of adrenaline.
Okay, fair. That would be a really good use for it, yeah.
Okay, so it's not it's not the new guy's stand. It's going to be the stand of whoever they're encountering.
Cool. Oh, shit.
Oh, come on.
Oh, now water's everywhere.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Well, things are about to get crazy.
Yep. They're about to kill each other because it's the, oh, you only gave me $15. You still owe me $5.
Yep. Yep, there it is. And he's actually a really chill guy.
Yeah.
Oh. Whoa, that's creepy. Oh. Jesus!
Oh, God!
Christ. Oh!
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 Wow.
You can see it.
Yeah.
You can see the effect. And they just don't even care to
Nope.
defend themselves.
Nope.
Oh!
Oh!
Oh, this is so brutal! Oh!
No! No!
Oh.
Okay. Sure. Four.
Well, it's about to be a battle royale. Oh, this is gonna be so freaking hype.
Holy shit.
Kill each
This
other.
is such a good way to kill her, too.
Yeah. Yep, you don't care. Nope.
Yeah.
As long as she's dead.
And who knows which ones
Torn
are
in
the
the
stand
dark!
users. Yeah.
Yep. Oh my god. What the hell? Whoa. Yeah, there's like 25 people here.
Yep. Uh-huh.
Yep, fight club.
Yeah, okay.
Fucking JoJo's just being like, hey, what if we just drop Jolyne into an all-out death battle?
Like, this is
just not stands necessarily. Just fucking people just run in there, just
Oh my
God,
god.
this is so nuts. Oh, okay, it's a battle royale. It's a fight club to the death.
Holy shit.
Let's have a death battle. And
I'm so ready for this.
I love that it was like it was coming after the hilarious little meta joke that Poochie made of like, you know how children debate about things like who's stronger, Stallone versus Van Damme? I'm sorry, I'm laughing hysterically at all the stupid YouTube videos about who would win in a fight, Goku or Superman. I'm like, yes, thank you.
But
thank you, Araki.
This is
all the way back in whenever this
Ahead of
manga
his
came
time.
out. Yeah, he was like, nah, all that bullshit.
No, it's a fundamental part of humanity, you know. But okay, now we're in a situation where screw the stand of the week encounter. Jolyne's gonna have to deal with 4 of them, potentially in addition to Survivor, because Survivor might not have been counted in
and
its
just
stat.
a bunch of regular people
that are souped up on Survivor, and okay,
and just want to kill.
Yep. Awesome.
Or fight.
Like,
yeah.
I am so ready for this. Like this seems like it will be hype as hell and could last for a while.
It could last for a while. I would say it could end up being almost too slow if it does that. But I could see also Jolyne being like, shit, I don't want to kill anybody here. So I'm going to need to like, use my string to like pull me up into the ceiling up there while all the shit goes down beneath me here.
But then maybe then that's something where then it like makes her a target because then everyone can see her up there. You know, like all sorts of things that could happen, and like the usual method that I feel like JoJo's will take, where it's a lot of like mind games and trying to figure out the mechanics of the opponent's techniques and stuff. There will probably be that too, but also 20 people killing each other. It's like you might not have time for that, you know? You figure out one person's ability and then 2 other people come up behind you. You know, it's like, so what do you do?
Yeah,
right?
And I don't think this is going to be that bad for Jolyne, really, because the other stand users don't have any way to be communicated from Pucci that they need to kill Jolyne.
Sure.
That in some ways, because of also Survivor, they're probably also going to be just acting wild.
Yep.
But the idea that Jolyne might come under the effect of this and herself act wild is more terrifying, really, than the brawl or the stands that she could be encountering.
Even if Jolyne, like, because she has realized, okay, I think this is the effect of a stand, right? And she could see the little, like glowing stuff that essentially is probably Survivor, you know?
Yeah.
But how do you fight something like that?
Well,
like, it's an electrical signal. Like,
well, we might have had a setup for how she would have practiced this in some ways already.
Okay.
It's who among us is the one that's not angry? Who's the one that's not affected by their own stand?
Sure. Okay.
Now, there's a possibility that Survivor affects them as well. But there's also a possibility where you just have to search for the one that's and not acting as wild as everybody else. And then just take them out, and then everything will go back to normal for a little bit.
Right.
But it might be too late by that point because everyone will be so hurt and broken and angry by what happened that then it still goes into a brawl of the death anyway.
You could also have something where potentially the stand user is not actually of Survivor is not in this space because, you know, they know that everyone's just going to kill each other. They might be outside and just their stand is in here now.
Really?
You know, potentially. Like there's lots of ways that it could go, but even if it is something like that, then maybe our new friend Anasui could come in and be like, oh hey, there's this person hanging out or outside the Supermax security, you know, area, you know, or something like that.
Sure. I guess that works kinda, but that's more so because I think they were making a point of how the electricity traveled through the ground to all the people there. But if they're in like an area where it's just concrete and what have you, it's not going to conduct electricity.
Because it didn't seem like there was, like, the thing that they seem to say about Survivor is that there's no real control over it, right?
No.
It just does its thing, right?
Right. It doesn't discern friend or foe. It just does its thing. Yep.
It just
which is why also
it
didn't necessarily like immediately go out once the
water was everywhere.
Meaning like it was either always going out and the water just made it conduct finally.
Sure.
Which I think is what they're implying primarily. But if it was always going out, then the stand user themselves is definitely immune because then they would have been just punching the wall.
Right.
Or the second
unless they
had any
have it separate from themselves the entire time, or
but if they got like the slightest bit of stimuli, just stepping on the ground, you know, just like stepping on the ground or falling onto their, you know, cot or what have you,
right,
that would be enough to, you know, activate things. So I think that them being in the prison makes things more exciting. Like in the maximum security ward, this section, I think, makes it more exciting. If they were sent here with the orders to stir shit up, then it makes the waterfall of the hose kind of thing feel kind of convenient and silly that it would be the thing that would help them when they were not in here to do it. So,
that very much seems like something that would have been either orchestrated or, and this is still maybe a bit of a stretch, if this is like the general thing that the prison guards do to torment inmates, then it's we'll
use that.
Well, yeah, we'll use the fact that they hose people down. Cool, I'll take this stand that needs a bunch of water. There you go. Right?
Sure.
Still a little convenient, but less convenient.
Right, and then they could maybe be just, you know, waiting for that moment or something like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the idea that Pucci knows that she's here makes this really, really hype as hell. Because if she survives, she's the survivor.
Oh, yeah,
She's not gonna give up.
Some Frank Castle, stuff of just...
And she walks out all bloody and broken and messy and stuff, and she's just like, ugh.
Right.
Pucci's just like, what the hell?
Yeah.
She is a JoJo.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
Well, and this makes so much sense, too, because if you have a situation where you have a contained environment where you know where your enemy is, you need to kill them, but, you can't have it lead back to you.
Yep.
This is exactly the type of situation where Pucci would be able to act like this in ways that previous JoJo's villains wouldn't have.
True.
Because they would, say, only have their own standability, and if you,
or their servants.
Or their servants, right? And you either send your servants or you send, your remote bomb car, right? And try and do stuff that way.
Right.
But you can't let your identity be revealed, so that limits you. It doesn't really limit Pucci.
Nope.
So yeah, 4 stands, why not?
Why not?
Just kill everything in this area.
It also just builds up the idea that when he said he has an actual arsenal, I mean, we saw all the discs there.
Yeah.
Of the,
right, just the duds that he couldn't figure out how to use.
Yeah, exactly. Where's the actual storage spot?
Exactly.
He's probably been doing this for so long that he's got all kinds of stand users that he's keeping track of and stuff. And also, given that maybe Survivor has been in here a bit longer, given that was in the Dio flashback or something like that, this could be the way in which he kind of cleans shop every once in a while. Is he sends them into the maximum, he gets them to go into the maximum security, ward or what have you,
and then just oops.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Well, I guess everyone but one of them killed each other again,
One of the things I am kind of curious about, though, is... Now, I don't think this needs to happen, but given that the 2 guards started killing each other while everyone else was inside the prison cells, although I guess they did open Jolyne's door because they were tormenting her.
Yeah.
So she could still get blamed for it. But if there's any kind of security cameras in there, they would see the guards start killing each other first and then specifically let the prisoners out, which could get interesting.
True.
if the people at the prison start to suspect some kind of fuckery. Doesn't need to happen, but there's this part of me that's constantly searching for how Charlotte and others could be brought into the conflict in some sort of way, But that tinfoil hat,
tinfoil. I feel like the camera thing is one that can be explained a bit away by the area where the button goes to open the door. Isn't necessarily covered by the camera. It's just a general overhead view thing.
Sure.
And or maybe it's just a camera by the door to the maximum security place.
Right, that way they know when people are going in and out and all that stuff, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I'd say that's probably what they'll do here. But honestly, new character.
Yeah.
We saw him before, but now we know who he is. He's a murderer. He's someone that is a bit odd. He's not psychologically unwell, in terms of what the tests showed, but he has an innate desire ever since he was a kid to disassemble things, see maybe not necessarily how they work, but it very much reminds me of another serial killer kind of character, even though he's not a serial killer.
He definitely killed his
kills people in a specific way.
Yeah. Right.
So he kind of fits the bill from maybe the police's perspective of
sure.
Of the people that he's killed, he did it the exact same way.
Right, so he must be some really fucked up, person in the head,
Right. But I like the way in which we're kind of having this repeating theme of having those that are just a bit, not broken, but those that are a bit kind of...
Wouldn't be accepted by society?
Yeah, they're just outcasts. I think that's they're outcasts of sorts. Jolyne is maybe the most normal of all of them. But they all have they're all kind of here for unjust reasons.
Right. It feels like the better evolution of Part 5 Squad, where it's like, yes, these are the gangsters, but, they're people too. They, they've got all these, they're complex individuals that aren't just, the horrible gangster stereotype or whatever, right?
Well, I feel like those were the ones with the heart of gold, pun intended.
Sure.
Whereas these characters are just like, I don't know why I am the way I am. This is just who I am, you know?
Yeah,
they've had stuff done to them, maybe more than being like wild children with the actual genuine goodness inside somewhere in there, even though they, be murderers or intense people or stuff like that. So
I was really curious because it seemed like we were going to get I thought we were going to get a closer look at Anasui than we ended up getting.
I think he's being saved for the next episode or two when he tries to save Jolyne.
Right.
And it's just like, oh, cool. Like, Jolyne really wouldn't have made it out of there if not for Anasui, and Anasui's stand being something that we're now going to see fully unleashed.
But not entirely. Like, yeah.
Right. Yeah. So, what do you think the stand does? Because there was an element of phasing that I kind of noted there, but there was also the idea of some kind of, an impression made upon the door that then continued the force, the momentum of it at a later point.
So there's the mist thing with the teleporting. I feel like that's the most straightforward in that they disassemble themselves down to like molecules and then just move around and then reassemble or something, right?
Okay.
With the kicking of the door, originally I thought it was going to be something where he like disassembles the door, but maybe he somehow disassembled his leg and like put it through there or something.
I think that's it, is that he can reassemble it after a certain point of time if he wants as well. Meaning, like, if you're in that disassembled state where you're like dust and mist or what have you, there was a decent amount of time where he was like that. But if you disassemble yourself to the point where your molecules and your individual components can fit through the gaps in space in the matter of the door, you can essentially phase through stuff. So then he reassembled his leg on the other side of the door in the same momentum and motion that it was when it kicked the door.
Right.
So...
but it's weird because, like, okay, if you can disassemble yourself in the kind of way that they seem to do to, like, teleport and all that stuff, and it's really just, like, some fast movement, then that means you have some manipulation over your body that goes beyond the traditional physical manipulation of, like, moving muscles and stuff because you're a bunch of tiny little particles at that point, right?
Sure.
So from that, I could definitely see how he would be able to then make a separated leg that would then kick really hard.
Sure.
Okay, cool. But why the aspect of it seeming to repeat the motion that he used to kick the door? Why did it need to be the same place where he impacted?
I think it was
the
a
door,
limitation. Those are limitations that he has to do, basically.
Right, and then the question is why?
Well, because it would be busted if he didn't have limitations.
No, totally. But usually the limitations of the stand will still seem to be in parallel to the abilities that the stand has and what the stand sort of does. Well, like, for instance, Jolyne's string, right? The limitations that it has are based around the fact that it's a string, right? I don't see the connection yet of where disassembling himself, if that's what he can do, would then have the limitation to you can only reassemble yourself in particular ways. If that makes sense?
No, it totally makes sense because you have to be connected back to your original self. You have to reassemble.
No, sure.
He can't move his leg a mile out there. It has to be in a place that's close to him.
Right.
Yeah.
And this might be something where we didn't see all of the details of what's happening when he recreates the leg, because that continues the mystery and stuff. Maybe there's some tether to his original body or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. But the idea of, like, specifically recreating a leg on the location where he kicked, I
think the reason is just primarily it's like, okay, now I'm aiming this. I'm basically preparing the attack, and I'm basically going, okay, they're going to be coming from this angle here. All right, so I'm going to kick this spot here. Leave some particles of myself in the door there.
Sure, and then once they open the door, that allows him to then reassemble it on the other side.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, we don't know when he seems to be corporeal that he's not already having some parts of him disassembled at times.
Totally. Yep.
Yeah. I also just love that, in general, David Productions kills it on the sound design for these stand attacks and abilities and moves. Ever since Zawardo in part 3, we've been just spoiled with just really cool sound effects. Anytime there's some kind of crazy ability that's put on display here. And the way in which he kind of was like pulled almost through the space. It didn't really feel like he moved in a guided way. It felt like it was just a thing of where it was like let me show you the part again. Like the part where he disassembled and like rapidly like went through the
he almost like exploded through the door.
Yeah, it was very violent, but it wasn't total. It started from like the outside and went in like a
right.
Yes, he was pulled. It was like sucked through. It wasn't.
Yeah, it felt like he suddenly turned to a vapor and there was a vacuum on the other side.
Exactly. Yeah. And then also just the idea that like in that wake of him doing it, there was like actual like particle effects left over. Like there was some Like, maybe that's going to be the joke, is that Anasui is actually the cleanest JoJo bro to ever exist, because anytime
he gets slightly dirty,
anything that's a particle that's on him that's not him just gets left behind.
Sure. Doesn't need to shower again.
Never showers.
Also,
in fact, that might be why he barely wears any clothes, too. It's just a thing. I mean, that's just JoJo's.
Fashion, right?
Fashions. Yeah.
I gotta say, Anasui's fashion was pretty on point, not just with the outfit, but also with the posing. The pose game, like, to have your pose game be distinguished even in a show like JoJo's, that's impressive.
I also just have to say, the back vest that is held together by straps that go under your armpits on just those very thin parts, but then also one that goes over your shoulder blades down to like your clavicle line down here. And how is it just resting there? Like, how? That's just, it just looks so freaking cool.
Yep.
But then he's got like footprint, like,
like
cloth on his body as well.
Actually, the reason it works is because
of the mesh.
The mesh is also connected to that, because the mesh doesn't go past the straps on his neck.
Right.
So that's
it's all one piece then.
Right.
That's really cool. But also,
that's awesome. Yeah.
Also the kind of almost Diavolo style look as well is pretty cool.
Long flowing pink hair and all that.
Yeah, the heart hat. I don't know if you noticed that, where if you look at the hat, it's a heart. Like with like devil horns and stuff.
I did not notice that.
I don't know. It just looks so freaking cool. Let me show you right here. You see it for like a
yes,
second
I can see it. Yep.
Yeah.
But also the idea that like we now have a JoJo where you have a character who is openly romantically interested in them, and of course it's the first female JoJo. But like that's a dynamic we haven't really seen in JoJo's yet, other than I guess maybe Erina in like part 1. like
well, I mean, Joseph.
Sure.
Joseph totally had like a crush on like multiple girls, and they had crushes on him. At least one of them did.
Yes, but wasn't that even like at the very end of the part?
No, it's when they leave Italy.
Oh, that's right.
Or they leave the city.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. But I'm excited to see if they end up becoming part of like the squad, right? Where they'll actually spend a lot of time with, them and all that stuff. What dynamics could be gotten into there?
Yeah.
But,
all right, y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below. For our Patreon, you can get an early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out our Twitch channel.
We stream every weekday. The info's in the description.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all
next time.